And now observe Enzo Fernandez movement. At that time, Enzo Fernandez was running for the ball. Like he was going towards the goal. And then just see the movement of Enzo Fernandez in the next second. He actually stopped a little to confuse the defender. Was this victory came as an outcome of new manager bounce? What's up Blues? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Football with Ritam, and in today's video we will be discussing the tactical breakdown of the match Chelsea vs Leeds United, which ended in the scoreline Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0. In this video we will be covering about the goal. I will be discussing about the total breakdown of the goal which was scored by Enzo Fernandez. Like I will give a detailed breakdown of that goal. Then I will be covering the moments where we could do eventually better. Like in that moment we could take a better decision. Like I will be discussing about that too. And in the form of visuals, like it will be displayed in the screen in the form of visuals so that the viewers find it very easy to understand. And next I will be discussing about the mistakes we committed in the match that we need not to commit for the rest of the games we have for the seasons. Then I will be giving my underrated gem of this match. Then at last I will be discussing what is next for us. And if you are a Chelsea fan and if you bleed blue just like me, this channel is for you. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon because you will be the first one to whom the notification of my video will be sent. So now let's see all the tactical breakdowns. At first, if we talk about the goal scored by Enzo Fernandez, and now let's look at the build-up at the screen. Like this is the beginning of our attack for our one and only goal. Now see the brilliant play from João Pedro. He snatched the ball, sent an immediate pass to Pedro Neto. And now just observe Pedro Neto and Enzo Fernandez right there. At that time Enzo Fernandez was running for the ball. Like he was going towards the goal. And then just see the movement of Enzo Fernandez in the next second. He actually stopped a little to confuse the defender. Because the defender was thinking that Enzo Fernandez was going towards the ball, towards the goal. So for that reason the defender was going towards the goal. But Enzo Fernandez stopped there. Now see, Pedro Neto observed the movement of Enzo Fernandez, and instead of crossing the ball more towards the goal, he crossed the ball into the path where Enzo Fernandez was there. And now you can see that 24 number jersey defender didn't even aware of the positioning of Enzo Fernandez. Like it was a free header, and that second number jersey defender was keeping an eye on Alejandro Garnacho. And for that reason Enzo Fernandez got a free header and he sent the ball back into the net and made the scoreline 1-0 in favor of Chelsea FC. And this shows the quality of Enzo Fernandez, what he brings to the pitch, what he brings to the team. And for that reason, Enzo Fernandez has been our best player this season. Like you can see his workload, his creativity, his goal scoring. And for that reason I want Enzo Fernandez to stay at Chelsea, because we actually want him, because he is a kind of a midfielder who can score plenty of goals and who can be a very clutch player. And now if we talk about the moments where we could do eventually better, now look at the screen the moments where we could do eventually better. And from here the attack started for us. Now see the opportunity. It was Malo Gusto who received the ball and had done a brilliant 1-2 with Pedro Neto. But at this position he could do much better. Like instead, like he had two opportunities, like he had two chances there. One, he could have cut back the ball directly to João Pedro. Second, he could have gone to the further side of the pitch to Alejandro Garnacho. And he gone for João Pedro, but the pass he had given, the through ball he had given to João Pedro, disaster. Like it was a genuine goal scoring opportunity. Like you can see the run of Alejandro Garnacho. I'm not sure if he could get the ball from there, what he could eventually do. But at least I expected Malo Gusto to do better from here. Next is this opportunity. Like you can see Enzo Fernandez was holding the ball and he had two opportunities and he had two chances. Either to give the ball to Alejandro Garnacho, which was a safe option, or to generate a very good through ball to João Pedro. Like you can see João Pedro was making a very good run towards the goal. And Enzo Fernandez had decided to go for Alejandro Garnacho. But at this moment, I am saying if Enzo Fernandez could have given the ball to João Pedro, then I think it will be better. Because now see what Alejandro Garnacho did at that point. Like he was totally confused. And now see, He was confused whether to shoot or to cut in or to give the ball to Enzo Fernandez, and there he fumbled up. And now look at this moment. It was really a good chance for us. Like, just see the ball. Now see the positioning of João Pedro and Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez had gave a very good little chip ball to João Pedro. Like, it was obviously it was an accurate angle for João Pedro to score, but João Pedro had gone for the near post, and unfortunately it hit the post. Like, it was a genuine goal scoring opportunity, and it was just a bad luck. I will not say that João Pedro had taken some bad decision at that time. It was just a bad luck for us that we could not break the deadlock at the 24th minute. And we got another opportunity at the 30th minute of the game where João Pedro took a very good shot, and it was just off target. Like, it could have been gone to the back of the net, but unfortunately it went off target. The moment where I can see some positive of Alejandro Garnacho. Like, see the pace of Alejandro Garnacho. He had beaten the defender, and at this position the best thing he could do was to deliver a very good cross, and he did the same. And you can see Pedro Neto was arriving at the box from the forehand. Like, it was just like a second striker arriving in the box. But you can see Pedro Neto had not completed his run. Like, instead of the defender, I think Pedro Neto should have been there, and it could eventually be a very good goal scoring opportunity. Because I think if João Pedro or even Pedro Neto would arrive at the box at the right time, then it could be a goal scoring opportunity and we could score the goal. So I am praising Alejandro Garnacho, because in the social media and in everything I am seeing that like every Chelsea fan is unhappy of Alejandro Garnacho, but he is just a 21-year-old boy, and we have all seen, and if we all see the clips of him playing in his youth at Atletico Madrid and also at the early stages of his career at Manchester United, he did decent. Like, if a player was scoring that type of goal and was playing decently at Manchester United, then I don't think player like Alejandro Garnacho is a garbage for the team. All he needs is just a confidence, just a goal. All he needs is just a confidence or just a goal. If he can break the deadlock by scoring the goal, then you can see the real performance of Alejandro Garnacho, and we have to wait for that. And another moment where Alejandro Garnacho did quite well is this moment. Two options: either to cut in and give the ball to Enzo Fernandez or Marc Cucurella, who was arriving at the box, but he cut back in, and obviously he got some luck, because after deflection the ball came in his favor, and I don't know he was trying for a goal or he was shooting the ball or he was just cutting the ball, but if João Pedro would arrive at the box at the right time, then it could be an easy goal for him. So at this point I am praising Alejandro Garnacho, because we have to find something positive in a player who is not doing well, and that is my job, to find something positive here. And then the mistakes we committed in the match, and now it was a very crucial moment in the game, because from here, if we conceded the goal, the game stage could have been different. And just see how perfectly Okafor had sent the ball towards Aronson. And to be honest, it was a poor defending from both our centre backs and also from Cucurella. Like, see, it was a free 1v1 chance for Aronson, and at that point of time, it was really a good save from Robert Sanchez. Because as I said before, if it would be a goal, then the game stage could have been different. Another mistake which was committed by João Pedro. Now you can see the positioning, like the touch of João Pedro. He was thinking that nobody was closer to him. For that reason, I think he became casual. Like, see where he loses the ball. It was a 2v1. It was a 2v2 situation for Okafor, because rather it was a 2v1 situation, because Cucurella was very far away from Okafor, and João Pedro had slipped, and Romeo Lavia and Moses Caicedo, all of them were not even in the scene. So if Okafor would have taken the right decision, then the game stage could be different at that time, because at that time we were leading the game. And here is the moment. Instead of passing the ball to Dominic Calvin-Lewin, Okafor had decided to go for the shot. And at that moment, Tosin had generated a very good defensive block. Like, for the rest of the season, we have been trolling Tosin very much, but at that time, he really generated a very good defensive block to deny Okafor from a genuine goal scoring opportunity. Like, you can see the positioning of Okafor, and I think Pedro Neto could eventually do better from there, because Malo Gusto was far away from Okafor. I think Pedro Neto could do eventually better there, and at that time, Okafor had delivered a very good cross into the box, like you can see. And now see the defending of us, like the Tosin and Chalobah, because both of Chalobah and Tosin are our tallest defender in the squad. But see how easily Okafor had given the ball and how easily we let dominate Calvin-Lewin to hit the ball like freely. It has never been marked at that position. Like you can see the positioning of Marco Correa was arriving at the box, but like Marco Correa was arriving at the box, but at that time it was too late. And just see the header. It was a free header for Dominic Calvin-Lewin. And if somehow Dominic Calvin-Lewin would headed the ball into the right or left side of Robert Sanchez, they take the deadlock for Leeds United. And at that point of time, I think we had a lucky escape, because generally a centre forward do not miss those kind of opportunity. And now if I talk about the underrated gem of the match, like apart from Enzo Fernandez, Joao Pedro and Robert Sanchez, I think my underrated gem of the match will be Moises Caicedo. He was brilliant yesterday. Like the way he was controlling the midfield, like we finally saw the glimpse of our old Caicedo that used to operate under Enzo Maresca. So it was a sensational performance. Like the long balls he was giving to the wingers like Alejandro Garnacho and Pedro Neto, and also the interceptions, the tackles he was doing. It was great. And it was a pleasure to see Moises Caicedo playing like a destructive midfielder. Along with that, we can mention about the name of Romeo Lavia, who was playing at the pivot role along with Moises Caicedo in this match. And to be honest, he was decent in this match. Like, he hadn't committed any kind of mistake, any sorts of mistake. So I will give 7 out of 10 ratings to Romeo Lavia for this performance. And now if I talk about what is next for us, we reached the final of the FA Cup for the 17th time. And my take is to win this cup. Chelsea is kind of a team that is hungry for trophies. Like from the Roman Abramovich era, we used to see Chelsea competing for every single trophy. So we need to win a trophy. And also with that, we need to finish at the top 6 position, because in case Aston Villa wins the Europa League, we will be qualified. And if we finish, and simultaneously if we finish at the top 6 position, we will be qualifying for the Champions League. So from this point of view, we need to win the 5 matches we will be playing for the rest of the season. So that is my hot take. So that is my take for the rest of the season, and that's it. So this is all for today, and I wish you a very, very good morning to all the Chelsea fans who has awakened from the sleep. Like it is a very good morning from the Chelsea point of view that we finally win a match, and we need to continue this winning run. And that negative energy of Liam Rosenior has finally left the club.